So I was thinking about why people cheat, and one of the reasons obviously is incentives. It's like never ask your barber if you need a haircut because they're obviously going to say yes. And there's a law called Campbell's Law which states that the more quantitative an indicator is, the more likely it is to be gained. And I think you see that all the time in exams, or whether it's in research or whatever. People will try and do things to try and get more people to view it or to do better. It's like social media is just full of that. It's like this video might be slightly clickbaity titled because that's what gets people to click, that's what activates the curiosity in people's brains. And I think, of course, people get sick of it after a while if the content actually has nothing to do with the title, or it doesn't live up to the value, which is another interesting proposition. But then incentives also have greater consequences. It's like if doing something that might seem amoral is good, stands you in good stead for the long term, then why wouldn't people do it? People will easily sacrifice their morals for what, if it benefits them. It's not something that most people really care that much about. It's good to say that you have morals, but it's much harder to actually live that way. And then I was reading Elon Musk about the book by Eric Jorgensen, and in it he mentions a grow the pie versus zero-sum mindset. And he says the reason good people do bad things is because they believe they have to take from others in order to win. And I thought that was really interesting, because the pie technically has no limit. GDP doesn't ever stop, theoretically. There's no upper limit for it. But we act as if there is, and we play a lot of zero-sum games. At school there can only really be number one. In academia there can only be the person who's cited the most, or there can only be one professor position. Whereas in life I don't really know if it works that way. There is always more people to interact with, there's always another person to date or to be friends with, and there's always another thing you can produce and grow. So it's interesting, because you see a lot of good people doing terrible things and they always think they're doing what's right. And it's tough, because sometimes your values will come into conflict with each other, and then you have to choose the one that matters the most. So to be perfectly moral, whatever that even means, as if by a philosopher's standard, that's very, very difficult. And I don't even know if it's even truly possible. I don't even know if the philosophers writing it lived that way. To be honest, I don't think they did, because it's almost an impossible thing to live by. I mean, I like to see it, I'd like to know if it was true, but I don't know if it was.